Here comes the best, the most well-rounded, best-smelling, nothing off-limits podcast in the world. Welcome to Quadcast with Kortney Olson, the woman with the world's deadliest thighs. Let's get ready to mumble.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Quadcast.
Let's get right into it. Okay,
Right?
here we go.
Do I introduce you as King or your name?
Know how to introduce me.
The motherfucking King.
Go, girl.
Go, girl. No, I feel some kind of way after drinking this powder you gave me.
It's no joke, huh? Yeah.
And,
Focus Plus. Nootropic, yes.
I feel...
So you did network marketing. Mm-hmm. So the number one product of all time in network marketing was Spark from @𝗪𝗥𝗢𝗚𝗥𝗧. That was
remember that.
Yep.
I remember that name, @𝗪𝗥𝗢𝗥𝗧, yes.
So the gentleman that made that.
Okay.
He partnered with us because he saw what we were doing with our food technology and said, this company is going to be the future. I would like to make something better than what I previously had made. Damn. And he made that as a nootropic, and then we added our proprietary technology and our food technology to that. So it's a nootropic that activates and fires the brain like nothing else, and then we enhance it with our stem cell technology and all that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm taking fucking modafinil and shit that's probably
Stop. Food.
Right?
The body knows food. It does not know chemical.
Okay. Mic drop.
Yes. Well, that's why you feel it.
Right.
I told you before we start. What did I tell you? I said, you should probably finish that before we start. And now, I'm feeling this. Yeah, I don't lie.
No.
That's what people are starting to figure it out. It's like, I am here for humanity.
Yeah.
The reason I say what I do is because I know. It's like, I'm not, like some people, what do they try to do? Like we talked about it earlier.
Right.
Sometimes in network marketing or companies, they project. They project an image that they're not. I can just be who I am. Since you've met me, have I changed?
No. No.
It's the same.
We just met, 4 hours ago? It's 2:22. Aha.
Yeah.
2:22.
Exactly. Yeah. Always in the flow.
Yes. So for those of you that are picking up what we're laying down, yes, 2:22. I think you walked in at 11:15, and we started grappling. And Katie and I don't know what 10th Planet people call their gym, if they say academy or whatever.
Planet,
At the
shout out Eddie.
Yeah, at the spot. She's like, when did you start inviting supermodels to class? She's like, who's your friend? And I was like, we just met.
Here for a podcast.
But yeah, we already had that old soul shit happening.
Yep.
You know?
Exactly.
And
it matters.
Yes.
It matters. Energy matters. What you feel from people matters. And my goal has always been to create a sacred, safe space wherever I go. You know, they say that you become who your younger self needs. And I truly believe that I am the person that I always wanted to become when I was a child. You understand? Like the person that I dreamed of being, I am now, and that's why I'm so grateful for my life and all the experiences, all the pain, all the fucking bullshit, I'm grateful for it all because it has shaped my mind, my heart, and my spirit.
Because you're, I would say, quite young. I mean, I got a decade on you. Age, I can't sing, but yeah.
32.
Yes, 32. And you've had a lot of experiences, which I've been purposely not digging into because I want to, get into it on here and share this stuff with the world. So, but backing up, I came across you, as I'm sure many people have. You had just fought and you were in your post-fight interview and you called out Jimmy Kimmel. And you had on your fucking leather harness. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? This
It's so easy to get attention. You just have to know how people work.
Right.
It's so easy.
Wear a hat that
So
says
easy.
cunt on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I saw, I saw the clip, and I must have seen it way back, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing happened. A guy named Zuby. I don't know if you know Zuby. Yeah, I came across his, clip in 2019, and when he, said, I'm identifying as a woman and I'm gonna beat the women's deadlift record in Britain, and he did, and I was like, wow. And then all this time passed, and something had popped up on Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't put two and two together until he was actually sitting in that chair, and I was like, oh, that's where I've seen you from. And so it was the same type of situation where I saw you. It was, again, did I manifest you here today, sitting here eating, drinking your magical elixir, which I can't wait to hear more about, and talk about what it is that you're doing. And that was our first introduction to each other, because
you can tell a lot about people.
Yeah, you can.
By how they move their body, by how they work with another person. You understand?
Yes.
Like you can tell so much by that, by the human spirit. It's like you and I have done network marketing, and we have been able to learn how to study people maybe in a certain way, right? How to effectively communicate a certain way. There is no other effective communication with another human other than using your body with them in some capacity. That is why people flock to things like fighting, pornography, whatever it is, because they want to see competence, gymnastics, meaning in the Olympics. The Olympics, most people watch the gymnastics. You understand? Why? Because they want to see someone do some crazy shit with their body, right?
Right.
And that's why we flock towards excellence in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, you can learn a lot just by rolling.
Yeah, that's so interesting. You walked in, and because we had a few texts back and forth, not a lot, and I could tell.
I do that for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather do this.
Yeah.
I'd rather do this because this is real.
Right.
I can project anything that I want to on that. We just talked about that.
Right.
For however many months after my first interview. My first interview, everybody thought I was fucking insane. Everybody thought I was a fool. Many people, my fans, like my real fans, they know exactly what I was doing. You understand? He has herpes. He said that he had herpes to the world. My real fans are just like, oh boy, what's going to happen next? Because they know I'm a master of getting attention. There's always a reason for everything that I do, regardless of if it's being shown right away. You understand? Some people want to call that master manipulator, whatever. Like I used to get that all the time. Like, Joel, you can sell anybody anything, because I can. But it's not that I can sell anybody anything. I can show you the importance of why you should do what I'm asking you to do. And if you're of good moral character, I've never wanted to be questioned. Why this product? Because it's unquestionable. I went through the science. I studied things. I'm not going to put my name on something that isn't quality. Have you listened to my music? Have you seen my videos? I don't put out things that I don't believe aren't quality. So in the same sense, if I suggest something to you, it's because it's of quality. If I feel like I'm going to put out something to the world, like a message or calling out Jimmy Kimmel, there's a quality reason behind it, because I do everything to save children. That company saved children. I've sent over 1 million servings of nourishment. They wanted to talk about my dick. I literally said in my first interview, I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition from the planet.
That's your mission.
I said that. I've sent over 1 million servings of nourishment to children through this company. Life-changing technology. Yet they wanted to take the low-hanging fruit.
Walk us through the dick part, the herpes. I missed that part. 'Cause I simply saw the short clip and.
So my first interview, the one that was the follow, you saw the follow-up to my first interview.
Okay.
So my first interview was back in March of 2022, and it was after a fight that I was going to have, that I knew people. respect to my boy Reese. He's one of my friends. I just texted him yesterday. You know, he loves me, but a lot of people knew I was going to win that fight. He was coming. He didn't have the best record, and he was taking the fight, I think, more for his name and his honor and his pride, which I'm grateful for. You know what I mean? But it wasn't a fight that people were going to maybe get up for. You know, it was kind of like they knew I was going to win. So I was thinking, man, I got to do some crazy shit. Like, I got to capitalize on this moment. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to win. It's going to be on UFC Fight Pass. Da, da, da. So I was like, man, okay, how can I set myself up to gain more exposure? How? Tell the world I have herpes.
So this is what I've been dying to ask you, because, you know, we briefly just mentioned it before we started recording, and I'm like,
well, people are stupid. When they hear herpes, they think dick. They think genital herpes. Bitch, I was talking about cold sores. You understand?
Yeah.
Everybody has cold sores.
Right.
But I can project something out to the world, and then they're going to take it for however they want to take it. But I know I'm going to get the exposure that I want. So I purposely
how did it go down?
I purposely came on the after the post-fight interview, and I told everybody I have an NFT that I'm about to launch.
I fucking swear, maybe this is starting to sound familiar. Like, maybe I did come across it. Maybe the product is opening up a part of my brain. I don't fucking know.
No, it's just you probably saw the clip. I told everybody, I'm about to launch this NFT that's going to change the fight game. And before that, I had lost. And the reason that I lost was because I was putting all this time into, and this was my opportunity I fought in front of Dana White. But I took a fight on 2 weeks' notice, exhausted, fucked up, because I've never been able to make an excuse in my fight career. I told you I've never fought outside of the cage. Walked away from every fight outside of the cage. I've been slapped. I've been spit. I've had loogies run down my face because people would always try me because I feel like they could sense that energy, right? Now it's funny. Nobody tries me, you know, it's because they know. And ultimately, I don't know how I would respond if people tried me now, because now it's like fighting was a spiritual journey for me when I first started. The reason I walked away from everybody, whether I got slapped, whether I got spit, whether I got pushed, is because I can't feed that beast. I can't feed that. I don't want to feed that demon. I feel like in another lifetime I was a serial killer. I had to stop watching Dexter. I only made it to the third, and that was my favorite show. I had to stop watching it because I was empathizing with him too much. Because there's many times where I would get slapped or I would get spit on. And my mind goes into, if we really had a problem, I would just follow you home, I would study your moves, and I would end you.
Noted.
I would end you. If we really had a problem, if that's what it was, why would I fight you in front of everybody here? Why would I do that? Nah, I'm going to wait. I'm going to watch all your moves. Wait till you get home. Now you can't really do anything because everybody has Ring doorbells and Ring cameras and all this shit. But that's how I was thinking. It's like, so I can't feed that beast. There's a part of me that fantasizes over debauchery. Just like everybody else, we're all human. We're all human. We want to see, some people want to see pedophiles thrown in a wood chipper. There's a part of us that is in there. I know how intense I am. I can't feed that beast unless for the right reasons. You understand? Mm-hmm. If I'm going to war, I got to be going to war with an enemy that is worth it. You understand? So going back to the Jimmy Kimmel thing and going back to the first viral, I knew that the mainstream media was going to run with it. I knew that all I had to do was buzzwords. First buzzword is NFT. About to launch this NFT that's going to change the fight game. Ended up being Create For You. Create For You, my platform, is the first platform to allow fighters and performers and creators of all types, the first platform to essentially own their fights, own the rights to their footage. Certain organizations that I won't name own the rights to their performances.
Right. Whether
it's insert Got Talent, whether it's these competitions where they have to perform, none of those people own those performances. And these corporations make millions and billions of dollars off of them.
Yep.
So instead, we're going to give performers the rights to the performances, and then we're creating an actual platform. I'm going to be completely honest with you. We have paid developers and not got our platform back. This has been going on for months, so we are actively looking and waiting on receiving our platform. So it will be done. The blueprint is already out there. And if you're a developer and you can maybe get this done for us, let us know. We're having a meeting on Monday about plans on moving forward. But the overall arching theme is done. We just need the finishing development of it, if that makes sense. And then it's done. It's game over. But the blueprint is there. Like my last fight that I just did was on my platform. We streamed it. CreateForYou.com. I battle rapped against one of the #1 battle rappers on planet Earth, Daylight, and gave all of it was the first battle rap event where the creators could essentially own their material, right?
That's brilliant.
It ended up
Prince would be incredibly proud of you.
It ended up being a shitty fucking event for multiple different reasons, but it was a learning experience, and we learned, right?
Right.
But I put my fucking money where my mouth is. I always put my money where my mouth is. So we have an NFT that's going to change the fight game. Done. Last fight, I was tired. I was exhausted. I had herpes before my last because I did. That's a true story. Because whenever you get tired and exhausted and you're overstressed, what happens? You have a fucking outbreak. I had 2 outbreaks in the span of 2 weeks. That's never happened in my life. But me and my buddy, we were literally, my business partner, when we were doing the NFTs and we were learning that game, because I got into super learning and biohacking. That's why I learned about nootropics. Our entire product line biohacks the body. That's
𝗪𝗥𝗢𝗥𝗪𝗧 needs to study you.
Watch. Whenever this is going to be the biggest company on the face of the planet for biohacking, once people figure out what we do.
Yeah.
Like they just don't know yet. And so like biohacking, I got into super learning. Right? And I got into super learning so I could learn how to take in information very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's right. You sent me that voice memo because I sent you a voice memo and I was like, listen, dog, I forget. It was one of those nights I didn't sleep. I saw perimenopause and I said, I don't know if it's from getting slapped. Oh. Speaking of Dana White, I might be concussed. Who fucking knows? And then you came back and you're like, oh, I got you this product, da-da-da. And it was like so eloquent. I was like, oh, perfect.
Biohacking. It matters. So got into super learning. And
you mentioned speed reading.
Yep. Speed reading. I started to learn how to speed read. And the reason I did that was, again, so I could take in information. So when we did this NFT little run for 3 months, we were just like, okay, what is minting? What is smart contracts? What is this? Like me and my business partner, when I was telling him about Create For You, it was like an NFT idea at the beginning, and it still is. There's going to be smart contract technology in that. But it's like I wanted to make the most unstoppable NFT. Like, how do we create value? How do we use this new technology to create value up and beyond what else is out there? So we studied hundreds of NFTs. Hundreds of projects. What made this successful? How did they launch? We're in the Discord. I'm in the Discord for hours, 8 to 12 hours a day.
Damn.
I'm in Discords, watching what people are saying, like going in. Like when I go in. People don't know. I didn't sleep. When I first got my music making gear, I didn't sleep for 3 days. People don't get it. When I get focused, like That's
a superpower.
Yeah, I had this girl
and I need
that I
you.
train with. She's from Kyrgyzstan, and she's becoming a good friend of mine. And she saw me yesterday. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, because like now I'm in focus mode again. Like I'm back on my best in the world shit. You understand? I'm the best in the world, and nobody knows it. I've got John Jones, old coach, telling me that when I am on, I am the best in the world. Unfuckwithable. When I am on, when I'm focused, when that's the only thing I fucking focus on. But I don't. I focus on so many things. You understand? Mm-hmm. I fucking direct my focus very, very passionately, very, very intensely, and I get the results that I do. And that's why for the longest time I've been able to and then get result. But now, like with fighting, I'm bringing a certain energy now because I want my fucking respect. I got my platform done. I got my music kind of where I want it to be. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now the only thing left to do is, and even my content. I got my gear. I got my fucking, I know how to produce my own show now.
Yeah, I was impressed, dog. I was like, damn, how's he?
Bingo,
you had like,
yeah, and make it what I want it to be and project it a certain way. So now the last thing I have to worry about is the thing that I'm already best at, fighting, or most talented at. You understand?
Yeah.
So going back to it with the, all I did for months was focus on NFTs, and I got me and my business partner burnt out. Like when I tell you that's the most exhausted I've ever been in my life. Most exhausted I've ever been in my life. And then I get a call on 2 weeks' notice. Hey, Joel, we got a Dana White looking for a fight. You know, if you win, you're going to be in the UFC. I go to my coach. It's about a week out, and he hasn't seen me for probably a month because I told him I'm about to retire myself with this move. I promise. Like me and my buddy, we're on this NFT shit right now. My business partner, who he knows, he respects. He's a great man. His name's 𝗪𝗥𝗞𝗪𝗨𝗧. Never lost money in business before for 20. Small town dude from where I'm from. Just like a good-hearted family man. The most awesome man you'll ever meet. One of my biggest fans. Just supports me. And now is, my business partner because I respect him. Mm-hmm. I respect who he is as a person, his values, and how he moves. And he was just willing to bet on me, and we were willing to bet on each other. And we went so hard that for a month and a half, I was living at the gym, but I was never practicing because I was literally just, all right, reading the charts. Okay, oh man, okay, what's selling today? Bro, did you see this? Hey, this is dropping today. We got to get in on this mint. Mint means pre-sale. We got to get in on this NFT mint, because if you buy it at mint, you can sell it at its lowest, value to people and make your money back, right? Or make money. So you just got to get in on it. So we were just obsessed, and I got super unhealthy, wasn't sleeping, literally was doing NFTs. Maybe 12 to 18 hours a day.
Damn.
Sleeping maybe for a month and a half. I was fucked up. And I had, when I came out to see Coach Wink, I posted the picture of my herpes, like my fucking face. It took up my entire lip. It was the worst outbreak I've ever had. It took up my entire fucking lip, like this over here. And I wore a mask out to fucking train. And I'm like, Coach, look at my fucking face. That was a week before the fight.
Damn.
He's like, Joel, you look terrible. Cause even my body, if you go back and you look at the Dana White looking for a fight, how I looked terrible. I wasn't jacked. I wasn't I was gangly. You understand? I look like a ghoul. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
You understand? And he's like, I looked at him and I'm like, Coach, I got to take this fight. I'm not going to lose. He believes in me so much that if I say that, he had seen me in a month and a half. But when I say it, and I say it a certain way with conviction, he's going to let me do it. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yep.
That's a real fucking coach. And that's part of my dream is to never be questioned. I went to Jackson Wink because I wanted to answer the questions for myself. Am I everything that I believe I am? Can I get the validation from the people that I actually want the respect from, meaning the best coaches in the world? They've trained all the best fighters.
Which one is Mike?
Mike is the one that has one eye. He's
right.
Yes, Mike Winklejohn.
Okay, he's
and
the one
Greg
I met.
Jackson is the other one. Yep.
Okay, he's the one Jackson I met.
Wink. Yep.
Super nice guy.
Yes. So I got that from them. And now here he is. We're about to do this fight. I take a fight on 2 weeks' notice, completely exhausted, come out the first fucking round, looking, whoa, almost get this boy the fuck out of here second round. I'm fucked up. And I'm not even able to focus. I got a call. I was dealing with some things behind the scenes. I got 2 calls that you don't want to get
Oh, dear.
right before a major event, let's just say.
Oh, damn.
You understand?
Yeah.
I got 2 of them. Different things, but like both where it's just like, now I got to think about this. I got to think about how fucking tired I am.
And you just had a fucking herpes outbreak.
Just had an outbreak. Fucking completely exhausted. And now I got to go perform in front of Dana White in the world. Millions of people. All right. But me, I fight to eradicate childhood malnutrition, and there's children that die every single fucking day. There's children that get trafficked every single fucking day that are waiting for someone to fight for them, that are waiting for someone to actually give a fuck about them and make a difference. I'll be that motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if I'm tired. There's people out at war. You understand? I'm a fucking warrior. I've been training. I used to worship the samurai. I used to honor worship. When I was in 4th, 5th grade, all I did was study warriors. Just different, that was my thing. Like, I saw Bruce Lee. I wrote a paper on Bruce Lee in 4th grade.
That's
like,
amazing.
he was my idol. I read his Tao of Jeet Kune Do, read his books, would read his notes, and I started to see, like, wow, all these amazing warriors are also philosophers. They use their brains. The samurai were actually very philosophical. And I started reading 𝗪𝗥𝗘𝗚𝗧, the Book of the Falling Leaves, the Book of the Samurai, Book of 5 Rings. Like, I just became fascinated with the warrior mindset. Who am I to fucking complain?
Damn, dog.
You understand?
I mean, I lifted my arm up because I got goosebumps as you were saying that. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who am I to fucking complain? So going back to the first time I went viral, I knew I had to do something massive to get back in the people's eyes. And that's why I decided to I'm about to launch this NFT that's going to change the fight game. Last fight, I was tired. It's narrative control.
right.
Because nobody heard the story. Nobody heard all of the shit. They still don't even know what the 2 calls were, but you can imagine. You can imagine. That's all you can imagine. Look at me. You can imagine. Shit. Oh, boy.
Is it twins?
Oh, I mean, could have been, maybe. But yeah, so long story short, so again, I knew it was going to work. I knew that they were going to fucking take the story and run with it. And also, you have to imagine, if they do what I want them to do, they just advertised my NFT. I got billions of impressions. I was in fucking Brazil, India. I was worldwide. Chris Brown fucking tweeted me out on his story. He has how many hundreds of millions of followers?
I don't know, a lot.
Bingo. I had major influencers, and I look at it as a smear campaign. I looked at it as the mainstream media essentially trying to do a smear campaign to me because of my mission, because they didn't want me to be out in the public eye a certain way. So I looked at it as an attack, which they didn't know. People don't realize how calculated I am. I am so calculated. When they did everything that I'm doing, I'm sitting back going, I was sitting with my buddy Xavier the next day, and this girl that was with me that came on the trip and one of his friends, and I literally, when we're walking out to the car, I looked at him, I'm like, how long do you think it's going to take to go viral? The next morning I wake up, I'm everywhere. And I looked at him, I said, told you. And then for months, it just kept going out there. I still get tweeted to this day. It still goes viral. That first clip still goes viral to this day. That's why the video that you saw was the follow-up, because Jimmy Kimmel said my name. And the reason why I used Jimmy Kimmel, I found out I might have been on The Breakfast Club too. The Breakfast Club is, if that's true, they should be grateful that I didn't hear about that, because I would have loved to go at them. Jimmy Kimmel was just the biggest name. Or Night House. I don't fuck with the Night House. I don't fuck with any of those people, right? But he's just this kind of mouthpiece for the establishment. Plus, Oh, that motherfucker might have been on the flight logs. Oh, you motherfucker. I got your ass. You said my name. He said my name on his show. He brought me up on his show. He was another one of those motherfuckers that had the opportunity to say, this kid said he fought to eradicate malnutrition. How does he do that? All of these motherfuckers could have done it. They could have been like, wait a minute, he fights to eradicate childhood malnutrition. What does that mean? But they wanted to,
dog, you're blowing my mind right now.
They wanted to run with the fucking herpes. Okay. All right. I'm sitting back and this is all I'm doing. I'm going, check. I see you. Okay. Check TMZ. Oh, okay. TMZ. Oh, Fox Breitbart. Oh, okay. All of you motherfuckers are the same. All of you are the same. I don't trust any of you motherfuckers. And Jimmy was the first to come forward, and say my name, give me that big platform, because everybody was hitting me. You made Jimmy Kimmel. And I was like, so because he got the biggest response, or he gave me my biggest response, meaning all the comments and the tags, you got mentioned by Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, I got to do fucking Jimmy Kimmel. I got to do Jimmy Kimmel. And I knew I was going to do what's called the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge afterwards, because the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge, where I called him up for 46 days in a row, and Jimmy, I made a song, Jimmy, would you please respond? If you don't, I won't believe I'm wrong. And if you're on the list, you're canceled too. Until you respond, we'll assume it's true, right? So that initially was how I started it. And the reason I started that was because I actually started a thing called the Logan Paul Call-Out Challenge.
I vaguely remember
I'm
hearing
Mr.
that
Influencer
too.
to influencers, right? I'm Mr. Influencer to influencers.
Right, we were talking about Tate with that as well.
Bingo. So I am Mr. Influencer to influencers. I was the first person. So now I walked away from my scholarship. We talked about it.
Right.
I was recruited to the #1 team in the nation for wrestling, but I walked away from my scholarship to pursue business, entrepreneurship, network marketing. Right?
Yeah.
I started to win in that. I lost my scholarship because of the amateurism rule, or my eligibility. I couldn't play because I put up a song underneath my name, Joel Bauman, back when I was wrestling at the University of Minnesota, called Ones in the Sky. That's how I first went viral. I first went viral because I broke the amateurism rule. The amateurism rule states that an NCAA college athlete could not get paid using their likeness. Only the NCAA could profit.
Right.
But now all these NCAA athletes can get paid millions of dollars.
Right.
You're welcome.
Send a check, bitch.
Daddy says welcome. Yes, absolutely. I'm Mr. fucking Influencer to influencers. Yes, absolutely. Because now look at all these fucking college athletes that have YouTube channels.
Yep.
Look at all these college athletes that are doing all these other things, music or whatever.
𝗪𝗢𝗄𝗡.
Who was the fucking one that started that? We did an amateur, The Business of Amateurs was a documentary that I was in that came out in 2016 that we believe helped shift the entire narrative, which is why athletes can get paid today.
Right.
And it told my story, Ed O'Bannon's story. Bob DeMars was the gentleman that created the film. He used to play for USC. It's a masterpiece. If you haven't seen it, Business of Amateurs, you're fucking welcome. And so all of this, the Logan Paul Call-Out Challenge, the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge, Create For You, my platform, this is all me cashing in on my mission. This is all me cashing on my likeness. So if you think about it, the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge, now I'm able to shout out the Logan Paul Call-Out Challenge. And for my first fans on TikTok, they know what that is.
Yeah, I don't.
You understand?
Yeah.
They understand. I remember I called out Logan Paul and Jake Paul pretty much every single day when they started to get into fighting, saying, how are these motherfuckers getting big money fights? And I've been doing this shit. I moved away from my children, moved away from my family, live in a gym, fucking miserable, fucking broke. And these motherfuckers can come in just because they have a name. Bitch, I've been doing this shit too, but I haven't been putting myself out there like that because I've been focused on other shit. But if you guys think these motherfuckers are entertaining, if you guys think Logan Paul's entertaining, you have no idea who you're fucking with. You understand? So it was that was the Logan Paul Call-Out Challenge. I called them out for a span of like 90 some days. And then I was just like, I got to get off of this because I would kill those boys. You understand? Like, I want to fight the best in the world. I want to fight Israel Adesanya. I want to fight John Jones. I want to whoop Hamzat's ass. I want to whip Bo Nichols' ass out of the competitor in me. You understand?
Yep.
out of the competitor in me. I want all the smoke with whoever. You understand? That's why we're doing this. And because I want to save children. I want to be the biggest fighter, biggest entertainer on the planet for the right reasons. And I want to go against all the people that people don't think I can beat, that I know I can. You understand? So Jimmy Kimmel was like, if I can take down him, meaning if I can use this Jimmy Kimmel Challenge thing and create a following, I become the most powerful man in Hollywood. I become ultimately one of the most powerful influencers on the planet. And after they took 2 of my accounts on TikTok, after they took down over 30 videos of
30. Damn.
More than that. That's from the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge. From the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge, they took down 30 videos, and I still have 11 million views on TikTok. Yeah. One of my videos, so I just went viral 2 or 3 weeks ago. Went re-viral on my 3rd TikTok account. So 100,000 followers lost, right? Mm-hmm. Many videos taken down as I was going viral. Somebody just did a compilation video of like some of my greatest hits. One was the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge recap that my boy Sean Hibler did, Hibler Productions. He's done award-winning documentaries. He's pretty much Mr. #1 independent documentary filmmaker in the U.S. Like he's Flat Earth God. That's how everybody knows him. He gets people on Flat Earth, and like his documentaries are incredible. I was just in one called Level With Me, levelwithmefilm.com or HiblerProductions.com. Go check out Level With Me. You're welcome, Sean.
We'll put that shit in the show notes.
Yeah. You're welcome, Sean.
I've always said like the Flat Earth I've always struggled with, but the more, I'm open to all of this
it's just
shit.
land. It's just more land. They're hiding more land. That's all it is. They're hiding more land. Why can't you go past the Antarctic wall?
That part.
Bingo. Exactly. You'll get literally. He has a beautiful clip in the film, or one of his films, where these guys literally try to go past the wall, and they're taking a boat out there, and they have this military ship. They were like, you guys got to turn back. They're like, why do we got to turn back? You guys got to turn back. This fucking property's off limits. If you go any further, we will take down your boat. They're in a fucking speedboat. They don't. Why?
Right.
Tell us why.
Right.
Just tell us why.
I just asked somebody that the other day. I was like, well, why can't we go to Antarctica?
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Level With Me film, we expose everything, including NASA. But I look at it like, so my whole thing was, if I take down Jimmy Kimmel, perfect. On day 46, I said it's going to take him 46 days to respond. Nobody knew what I meant by that. Well, for day 46, I was going to go out to LA and go to Jimmy Kimmel Live Studio. And my initial goal, a lot of people don't know, I'm fucking, I don't care. I don't care. You understand? I'm the one that doesn't care. But at the same time, it's strategies of war.
Right.
Right? I was going to go sit in the crowd. But then I found out I had to have a vaccine and I had to do all this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not vaccinated. So it's like, that would have been hard. I could have got tickets. I probably could have snuck in. But we shot our little, I was like, we can just shoot outside this thing. I showed up.
That's what I saw. So,
yeah, the Jimmy Kimmel Challenge. When that launched, that went crazy viral. That was my most viral video on TikTok, and they took it down after a day. Or no, they took it down after like 8 hours or something. It was overnight.
Damn.
And I already had like 100,000 views in 8 hours. I gained like tens of thousands of, like, I gained so many followers off that, and they took it down. And I was like, oh, they're afraid now. Someone reposted that we had 1.2 million views in a week. And I gained pretty much damn near 20,000 followers from that on my new account, my 3rd account. On
right,
TikTok.
I'm on my 3rd too.
Yep.
Stupid.
And I look at that and I go, I did it. I am what I wanted to be. I am, in my opinion, one of the most powerful men in Hollywood, because in that clip, he put the Cassidy clip in from the rap battle, because Cassidy hosted my rap battle against Daylight. And that's the clip that Cassidy said he didn't care about pedophilia. And I fucking called him out for it. I was just like, you don't care about pedophilia? And I was like, you have a fucking song with R. Kelly. Blew up. That clip blew up. So not only did I cancel potentially Jimmy Kimmel, but I canceled, which is impossible to do, a fucking a rapper, a famous rapper. You understand? Like, especially in the battle rap community, people hold their rappers dear to them. You understand? People hold their artists dear to them. But now I got people still commenting on Cassidy's clip, like, you don't care about children. Like, and he had to address it in one of his art. He didn't really address it, but he had to. You understand? Like, so I look at it now and I am who I want to be. I have done everything that I wanted to do. I proved my genius. I proved my mastermind. And now the last thing that I got to do, the last frontier, is become the best fighter on the planet, which has not been my focus. You understand? That hasn't been my focus. But now it is. And that's why I had a fight 2 weeks ago. And everybody's like, wow, you look completely different. No shit.
Right.
I'm embodying all that I am now.
Damn.
It's different.
Ooh. I don't know if I need to put a jacket on or if you just need to keep speaking. So when did you have your first spiritual awakening? Walk us through that.
About 9 years ago. So when I was wrestling at the University of Minnesota, I was always named Bible Boy growing up. My nickname was Bible Boy because I led all my friends to Jesus Christ. I was the only African-American in a small community of Norwegians, and I was adopted. I couldn't listen to the radio growing up. My parents were all Jesus freaks, like Christian radio station. I always wanted to put Minnesota on the map. I always wanted to be like the biggest artist in Minnesota or the biggest influencer in Minnesota, which now I believe I have to be. I have to be up there. You understand? Like, I feel like I am. Like, and I had to move away to do that. Nobody fucked with me when I was in Minnesota. You understand? But when I got to college, people started to fuck with me. These women are looking at me a certain way. You understand? And I'm like, now I'm getting this attention. I don't even necessarily know how to handle it. You understand? Like, I don't even know how to handle it. But now I'm like, I got a girlfriend and she's wanting to have sex with me, and part of me is like, I cried like a bitch after the first time I had sex. I was 14. It was nothing. It meant nothing to me. I just looked at one of my girlfriends like, you want to have sex? You want to try? Like, yeah, okay. Because they fucked with me because we were friends. It was just like, okay, what? I cried like I was depressed for 2 weeks. I wanted to commit suicide.
Damn.
So I felt I soiled myself for my wife. And I felt like, oh man, I got to wear black on my wedding day and I got to be shamed in front of the entire church, in front of God, in front of my wife. Like, I wanted to kill myself. So I battled with that for years, and afterwards, that's what created a monster. My own self-hate. My own self-hate created a monster after that because it was like, I'm fucking going to hell anyways. Fuck. I fucked up anyways. And it was that anger and that angst that literally made a monster demon, whatever you want to call it, made me who I am today.
Yeah.
And in college, I battled with that. Because here I am with this woman who she was like my dream girl, I thought, at that time. She had everything that I wanted. She was shaped the way that I wanted. She was desired by others the way that I wanted, She was smart in her own right in school the way that I wanted. She was maybe a little bit more sexual or promiscuous in the way that I thought I wanted, right? But then as the relationship progressed and I started to get called more to we had a Bible study, you know what I mean? We had a Bible study that I would start to go to and, I was just getting conflicted. So here I am partying or hanging out with her and doing whatever she wants to do. But I'm getting conflicted. Now it's really starting to pull on my heartstrings. I'm like, would you ever go to church with me? Would you ever and I'm starting to see would she make sacrifice for? No. In my first network marketing company, I built her business up to a certain level. Had I not done that, I still think my business could have been building today. I mean, well, maybe. We'll see. I could have fucking rocketed myself up a couple levels if I never would have built her business. Because I fucked up. You understand? I would have been just in a completely different, but I did it because I thought we had a future together. and I thought she would change for me and all
And this
these
was
things.
when you were in college?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was just getting fucked up off that, and then we broke up anyways, and we were the most toxic couple on the university. I mean, it's like everybody knew who we were. Everybody had heard about us. Everybody had, everybody know. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I send her so much love though now. Like there's nothing, no angst, no nothing. Like I wish her all the fucking best and all the love and but everybody knows what I'm talking about. The most toxic relationship on the fucking campus. We were celebrities. I've always been a celebrity. I've always been out there in my own way. But after that, I really I went to a Christian Bible camp thing, this Athletes in Action, I think, or whatever it was. And it's like they try to break you, get you closer to God. And I remember I was just like, okay, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to be a pastor. I think I'm going to whatever. But then just something kept nudging me. And it wasn't until I had my head injury, my 5th head injury. Took me out for 3.5 months. They told me I'd never compete again. I was wrestling a guy. I shot in and ate his knee. Massive, it was a fucking hard ass low single. Just a perfect John Smith low single. But I fucking just ran right into his knee. And I could just tell I was fucked up afterwards. Cause I was telling my body to do things, but it just wouldn't do them. It's like, Joel, get up. Wrestle. Why aren't you scrambling right now? What's up? It was just dissociation from my mind and my body. And after that practice, I was fucked up. I laid there for about an hour and a half. I didn't get up. Maybe about 50 minutes. I think it was I don't know. I was watching the clock, but it was just I was laying there all sweaty. And normally I wouldn't how when you're sweaty, you just kind of want to shower. You don't want to because you don't want to let that sweat. I remember I just kind of laid there and I was sweaty as fuck. And my sweat was pretty much drying. And I'm like, oh, I should get up now. But 50 minutes or so had passed. And then I was taking a shower. And then I just kind of laid down in the fucking locker room again. I'm like, And I did that for about 30 minutes.
Damn.
And then I had to force myself to get up. Joel, you got to get up. You got to stop laying down. Why are you laying down so much? I got up, and then I went home, in my little apartment. And for whatever reason, I was warm, and I just wanted to lay on the floor. I laid on the floor for an hour and a half, and I said, something's fucking wrong with me. Why do I just want to lay on the floor, and why do I have to fucking tell myself to get up? And this shit went on for a while, and I what made me find, I think it was after a couple of days, I had a geology test coming up. Was that the Earth, right? That's the Earth? Yeah. I had a geology test coming up, and I was actually trying to be a good student, you know what I mean? And we had study hours and shit. So I remember I was in study hours because we had I had 20 mandatory study hours. So I was getting my hours in for the week. And I had clocked in and I was there for 2 hours. I wanted to do 2 hours. And I have my geology book in front of me. And I was on the same fucking page. And I would read the page and I would take notes. And then I completely forget what the fuck I just read. And what I started to do is I started to tally how many times I read the page. Because I'm like, wait a minute, didn't I just read this?
Dog, maybe I have. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would get to the end of the page
Sounds
and I'd be like,
familiar.
I would get to the end of the page and I'd be like, I know I just read this.
Oh, yeah.
I know I just read this. So I started to tally. There were 9 tallies afterwards. And I'm like, and that was over the span of because I would read and then I might focus on something else because my focus was just all over the place. And I was like, holy shit, I read this page 9 times and I don't remember anything that I read. Something's fucking wrong with me.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So that's when I went in and they told me I had a head injury. I can't make medical claims, with our product line because the FDA, they censor. This is so I've been dealing with censorship for the longest time. So, long story short, I became super depressed because I found out I might never compete again. They're telling me that I might need to hang the shoes up because if this is as serious as what I'm making it, and that's the other thing, I think a lot of people thought I was faking it. I wrestle. Meanwhile, Jake Deichler, my idol in wrestling, Jake Deichler was my idol. I looked up to people. Like, I looked up to my peers growing up. I looked up to guys like Travis Rutt, who was on my national teams growing up with me. I looked up to Torrey Stewart, who was a 2-time or a couple state champion, who was on my national teams with me. Jake Deichler, first 18-year-old Olympian from Minnesota. He had to stop. He was supposed to be a national champion for the University of Minnesota, but had to stop because he had too many head injuries. I was there for one of them. I was there. We were at Penn State, and he ended up going downstairs for something kind of at night before the tournament, and he forgot why he was there. I had to watch my idol do the same thing, and here I am fucking having to deal with my shit, and and all while, I was always the guy that the team didn't want to take seriously either. I would feed into it. I was always an entertainer, and they would want to piss me off. Like, if we were playing Mafia, they would want to, like, get me riled up because I'm funny, and, like, when I get pissed off, it's funny. You know what I mean? They want to see me get mad. I would let a lot of people take advantage of me for their own entertainment because I could handle it. But now I'm starting to see, these motherfuckers might not respect me because they might think I'm faking it. They might not know I'm actually super depressed. We had another guy on our team who dealt with depression. I'm not going to say his name. A lot of people know who he is. But I saw how they were responding to him. But when I was fucked up, nobody fucking was there. It was just me. So what I started doing, you guys think I'm fucking faking it? Oh, you guys don't actually know that I'm fucked up? All right, I'm smoking and drinking. Smoking and drinking and getting high. Fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck. You guys don't give a shit about me? Oh, word. Okay. Mind you, I'm already in network marketing too at this time. And I saw how they kind of distanced themselves from me there. Like, nobody would really take me seriously. Nobody's really taking me seriously. Everybody thought I was trying to sell them something.
Right.
When I was trying to make their lives, I was trying to, like, show them their life could be better.
Right.
I'm not here to fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm genuinely, like, I was in it for almost the right reasons. I wanted my friends to win with me.
Right.
So I got all my fucking, like, my closest friends. I went to my closest friends, like, hey. And then I saw my closest friends wouldn't even fuck with me. Mm-hmm. So, like, here I am just kind of, like, almost getting disbanded from everybody. My coaches are mad that I'm fucking paying attention to, like, network marketing as well. And then I think the word got out that I was smoking and, like, drinking and, like, you know what I mean, wasn't really, showing up anymore because I was just fucking depressed. I couldn't even go to a meet because if I would go to a meet, you can't get your heart rate up when you have a inflammation of the brain. So if you get your heart rate up in any regard, it can start to trigger you. So if I start, like, I would be there for a wrestling meet, right? I would want to go to wrestling. I get there and I'd be like, oh. My heart rate would start getting up and immediate headache. Almost like a panic attack. I don't have fucking panic attacks. You understand? Like,
yeah.
I don't have that shit. What the fuck? Now all of a sudden, what the fuck? Oh, man, my fucking head is aching. Then I have to go home and lay down for 4 hours. Try to get right.
How long did that last for?
3.5 months. Fucked up. Nobody, like, and everybody thinking I'm faking it, which is adding to my depression, which is adding to my resentment, which is adding to my anger. All while I know I could be one of those motherfuckers. I could be, if I was focused, if this is the only thing I was focused on, I know I could be one of the best in the fucking. My coach, Jay Robinson, one of the number one coaches of all time, sat me down at one of my last meetings. Because we have meetings, annually or whatever. He's like, Joel, you're so focused on your network marketing, your business. You focus on all these things outside of what. And now, mind you, he's a millionaire for his camps. He did the Jay Robinson 21-day intensive camps. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's making more money than all the other coaches. He employs the other coaches for these fucking camps during the summer. You understand?
Yep.
He's a fucking entrepreneur. And the reason I'm spending time doing the network marketing camp is because I got recruited by a top 10 income earner, and I was working with the number one income earner in that company who was making $100,000 a month. Looking at me like, Joel, you're going to be the future if you just put your focus here. Same focus that you put in wrestling. If you put it here, you're going to kill it. I believe in you. I want to work with you. He's invited me over to his house, fucking having meetings with him, like picking my brain on how I do shit. Like, and he's killing it.
Right.
Driving around a Range Rover, showing me different life, how life could be. And like, he said, you could retire by the time you leave college. Here, let me help you.
How the fuck are you going to turn that down?
Bingo.
You know what I mean?
So here I am getting told by a guy, like, I respect Coach Coach Robinson so much. I respect him so much. And he's looking at me like, what are you doing? You should be focused on wrestling. And I'm like, I can focus on wrestling and this. And if I focus on both, if I give them both equal, I still know I can be a national champion. If I have all the money in the world, I'm going to be able to fucking do what I want to do. I'm going to be able to eat the way that I want. I'm going to be able to train the way that I want. I'm going to be able to go get massages whenever I want. Wouldn't you want me to make more money so then I could fucking actually dedicate? If I don't have to worry about all that.
Right.
If I can dedicate all this to you, I gotta think about, you don't pay my rent. I'm on 10% scholarship. You don't even pay my fucking, you know what I'm saying? You don't even pay for shit. I'm sitting here struggling, eating peanut butter and water. People don't know.
Yep.
For months. You want to know what I had to do? Oh, I'm going to get emotional. I'm going to get emotional. I get pissed off about this shit. People fucking don't know. They don't know the shit that I've been through to fucking become who I am. When I was going through what I was going through and struggling my ass off, I was living off. I would go to, we had a 𝗪𝗣𝗡𝗪𝗍 right up the street that I could walk to. It was like 4 blocks away from where I stayed. And they had the 39-cent gallons of water. So I would get the 39-cent gallons of water. And then I would get a big bag of like pancake mix. Because I still didn't drink tap water because I fucking, I knew better.
Right.
I've always known that, right? And then I would get a big thing of crunchy peanut butter. And if I had the money, some syrup. That was my meal for like a month. People have no fucking idea. Peanut butter, because I didn't have a meal plan anymore. I didn't have a meal plan anymore at the dorms after my fucking second year after moving out. I had to bum meals, or I had to use someone else's card until they caught me. I have no fucking idea. Mm-hmm. But Joel's faking a fucking head injury because he doesn't want to wrestle, because he doesn't want to work out. Suck my dick. Fuck you. All of you who I thought were my teammates who were fucking potentially ratting me out, and this is what I was going to say. I ended up testing positive for fucking weed in my system because they did a random drug test. And I was finally randomly drug tested out of nowhere. And I failed my drug test, and I lied about it because I tried to beat it. And they found out that I tried to I put bleach on my fucking finger and tried to piss. I'm like, yeah, your results kind of came back fucked up. So I actually got triple the time because I didn't just come forward and say it. So I would have had to sit out until my senior year.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's ultimately why I just said, fuck college.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. Well, there was a couple reasons for that. I was also sitting, there was that. And then there was also, and now mind you, nobody asked me why I was smoking the weed.
Right.
Nobody asked me why I was drinking. All it was, oh, you're smoking? Oh, you're doing this? Oh, okay. That's it. No counseling. I got to see the coldness of my coaches. I got to see like the fucking, oh, okay, this is who I am now to you. I'm just a fucking druggy weed head. You don't give a fuck about me. I see how you've been able to, they've also been able to, they want these motherfuckers to sit here and go, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No tattoos? Okay, sir. No piercings? Okay, sir. I came in with fucking piercings and all that. And they always, you have to take that out. I cut off my dreadlocks to wrestle at the University of Minnesota. You understand? Like, my hair was everything.
I kind of understand.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Being a white girl.
Yeah, you know what I mean? My hair was everything, and I had to cut it off. But they want these, yes, sir, yes, sir. And this was the final straw of, like, how I knew I wasn't built for college. I was starting to win in network marketing a little bit, just a little bit. I got a paid-for BMW in my first company. And
that's a pretty big fucking win in network
marketing.
It
was, but it's like you have to keep up your requirements and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. So I was sitting back, and this was about the time that my mentor wanted to work with me, right? And I just got done like hanging out with him. Mind you, he's showing me his checks, $98,000 for a month off of one of his bonuses. That's not all the money he's making. You understand? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just one of his bonuses, $98,000 for the month. And it was career day. I was in sociology. It was career day. And this cop, this teacher, this professor came into like our sociology class. 300 kids. I grew up in a school of 300. So I'd always be fascinated by, wow, this classroom can fit my fucking school in it. And now, mind you, it's career day. Nobody gives a fuck. And all these kids are just sitting on the computer, not listening to anybody. Some kids are trying to be respectful and be like, let's give them the hour. I'm sitting here just kind of like, fuck, man. Like, this is, but like, I'm somewhat listening, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just waiting to get to their salaries. I'm just waiting to like, and the fucking teacher, she says, yeah, so, you know, you'll be lucky to, and I knew you had a 12% chance to get a job after 4 years of education.
That's staggering.
That was 9 years ago. And I was teaching kids that, my age. Being like, 9 years ago. You had a 12% chance to get a job after college. So I'm sitting here, first off, watching all these motherfuckers not give a fuck, especially when they get to the money part. And she goes, yeah, so afterwards, you know, after college, you know, if you guys, you know, if you're lucky, she's even saying it. She's like, if you're lucky, you know, and you can get a job right away. And I know the numbers. And she goes, you'll a good starting salary is about $38,000, you know. And I'm like, what? You want to know what got me started in my first fucking company? Here's what got me started. A gentleman that I did not like. I did not like his family because they made money. He was the wealthiest gentleman in our community, and I grew up in a fucking trailer home. The only reason we moved into the farm that we moved in is because my dad's dad died and his mom let him take over the farm to watch it over. So we got to be in a little bit bigger house, a little bit nice. You know what I mean? It wasn't a trailer home down the street. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in a trailer home down the street from his fucking actual home. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I used to go to church, and these kids would always show up in nice clothes, and these people with a certain last name. And I didn't like that motherfucker, but my dad knew him for a while, and I didn't like him because he had money, and his kids were bullied. One of his kids bullied me growing up at like Wednesday night church. And I'm never going to forget it. Like, I hold grudges. You know what I'm saying? And I remember he lost everything. He lost everything when I was growing up. This is one of the wealthiest men in our area. But then he built back up everything and then some in about 4 years. Nobody knew how he did it. I asked my dad. I came back. And this is the story of how I got into network marketing. I come back for Thanksgiving my first year because I'm wrestling at the University of Minnesota now. And I go to church because I'm trying to make my parents happy, you know, and I'm showing up, shaking hands and kissing. My son wrestles at the University of Minnesota, you know, one of those things, right? And I see that motherfucker pull up in a brand new something. And I'm like, wait a minute, Dad, didn't Mr. Goris, like, didn't he lose everything a couple years ago? He's like, yeah, he built back everything. How did he do that? I was always curious. My dad's like, I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute, how long have you known this guy? Like 40 years? You gone to the same church for how long? That long? You don't know what the fuck he does?
Right.
He's the one that called me 2 weeks later. He called me a week later. He says, I saw you in church last week. I want to sit down and show you what I do. I thought it was going to be some Bible camp. No, it was network marketing. And how I got started was he came up, pulled up to my fucking dorm in his fucking nice ass car, showed me their little presentation. I looked at him, asked all the questions. I'm like, you can make money from this? You make money from just sharing information? Why would people do this? And I had this smart businessman look at me and he's like, companies aren't going to pay for advertisement anymore. They're going to get people that have influence in their communities, essentially share these products and ideas to their core audience of people, and they're going to pay people. He's talking about influencers, what people do now, product placement on their fucking ads. Joe Rogan reading the fucking script. All these motherfuckers at the end of their YouTube videos. If you want this product, it's network marketing. They don't want to call it that. They call it affiliate marketing. Shut the fuck up. You're doing the same thing that I did. You know what I'm saying? You're just not going from your friends to your friends trying to tell them about an idea, right? And he sat me down, handled all my objections. He said, Joel, if I could help you retire in essentially 4 months or 4 years by the time you leave college, help you, is there any reason you won't want to do this? I said, you have to help me. He's like, yeah, if you become successful, I become successful. Like, isn't that a better way to make money? Don't you think that that's a better way? Don't you think that's a better way to make money? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, but you actually make money? He's like, he looked at me. He's like, would you like to see my check? It was the first time anybody, I grew up conservative as fuck. You don't ask people how much money they make. He's like, would you like to see my, yes! Yes, I would. Are you kidding? This is the first time I've ever seen anyone else's check. You understand? I've never seen anyone else's check. This motherfucker's confidently like, would you like to see my check? Yep. 38,000 dash whatever it was. It might have been 53. It might have been 69. I said 38,000. And he looked at me and I'm like, that was for last year? He goes, no, that was for last month. I didn't, you know what I mean? I'm not even good with money. But all I know is $38,000. What could I do with that in a month? I could get studio gear. I could get music equipment. Sign me up. You know what I mean? I called my dad immediately and said, hey, I'm going into business with Tom Gores. I need this much money to get started. He told me he's going to help me retire by the time I leave college. Doesn't matter what we're doing. He's Tom Gores. You know Tom Gores. She's like, yeah, I know Tom. I'll send you the money now. Done.
Wow.
That's how I got started. So when this woman is saying, hey, you're going to make 38,000 potentially after, 4 years of college. And that's a good starting salary. I'm like, ain't no way I'm going to school for 4 fucking years to then make $38,000 for a year being fucking miserable around motherfuckers that aren't even listening to me.
Right.
I'm looking around. There's like 16 people listening to her say this and everybody else is on the computer not giving a fuck. And I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's what pushed me over the edge. And here we are later. So you asked me what happened with my spiritual awakening. It was nudge after nudge after nudge. It was nudge after nudge after nudge. And it was when I had, and again, it's crazy how I can remember that, right? I had to tell this. The spiritual awakening happened when I was having my concussion after all of that. I see everybody kind of turn on me. I'm left with nothing. I can't show up for my meetings anymore either because I couldn't drive.
Damn.
I was becoming a force in Minnesota. My mentor, who I told you about, left Minnesota to move here, Vegas, because no taxable income, right? Smart man, right? And he left Minnesota to me and a couple other leaders because he felt like we could now flourish, right? I had to stop showing up for meetings. I would forget what I was saying on stage. I would forget what I was saying when I answered the phone for a 3-way call. Hey, Joel, I'm sitting with a prospect. Can you? Yeah. I'll tell him, the 3-way call.
Right.
I would forget what I was saying. I could close anybody, and now I can't even remember where I'm at.
I'm like, hey, sign me the fuck up.
You understand?
Yeah. It's a horrible feeling. It is literally the most soul destroying. Like, there's so much that I just can't even recall from, I was a blackout drinker, and I know, that contributes to a lot of it. And obviously I'm like, wow, is smoking meth for 10 years finally caught up to me, or is it perimenopause? Because it is truly is so aggravating. Yeah. So I know exactly how you feel.
I was fucked up, right? I was sitting around. I was going to commit suicide. This is the real story. Yeah. Because I was just dead. I was dead inside. My team doesn't care about me. My wrestling team doesn't care about me. To this day, I still think my coaches have an issue with me. Like, I've never really talked with them. I would love to go train at the University of Minnesota when I'm back home. But I'll train with the National Greco team because I don't have to deal with the coaches. Brandon Eggum, if you're fucking watching this, I have nothing but love for you. You still inspire me to this day. I remember when you took the time to actually work with me on that elbow pass to the low shot. I remember that. And I wanted to become everything that I did for you. Luke Becker, the elbow pass, all that. All of the things that you guys taught me, I still remember to this day, and I hold it very, very dear. I have no problems with any of you. I have no problem. Jay Robinson, you are of the greatest coaches I've ever had. All I ever wanted to do was make you gentlemen proud. Real shit. I know I was probably a lot to deal with growing up. I know I was a lot to maybe handle. I know I wasn't necessarily focused the way that you guys wanted me to be. But don't ever think I took that for granted. Don't ever think the time that you invested or put into me or how much you believed in me, if I were to give you what you wanted, meaning my time and my full attention, I get it. I get it because you saw my value. Coach Robinson told me that I could have been the greatest wrestler that ever came through the University of Minnesota if I was focused. I'm grateful you saw my potential because it's what allowed me to be all that I am now. So I'm honored by you guys. I have no issues with you. I have no problems with you. This is just how I felt at the time. I felt like I was abandoned. And I needed that to happen to become all that I am. So thank you. I will never complain about that.
Talk about divine masculine.
Yeah. So long story short, I was sitting around high, drunk, after I might have failed my test at that point in time. I think I failed my drug test at that time. Because I was just like, fuck it. Fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck anymore at this point. Like, I'm not going to wrestle. I'm done. I have to wait till my senior year to wrestle. And then I got to tell everybody that I failed the drug test and I got like, you're going to paint me out a certain way. And like, maybe like, I don't even smoke like that. The only reason I'm smoking is because I'm fucking depressed and like, I'm going to sit around, make music and fucking do what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do something that makes me happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I lived on the I-35 bridge. We lived at Floco Apartments, which was literally right on the Mississippi River. It's the I-35 bridge is what led you into the University of Minnesota and the campus. And it was the infamous bridge that everybody would jump to their death on. They would jump into the Mississippi River. So I was like, fuck it. I was going to take the long walk around campus because we had a couple bridge. Like this was the bridge to the University of Minnesota that would lead you off I-35. Then you would come into University Boulevard, University Avenue, and you go University Avenue, and there's a couple bridges that would lead you across on the campus. I was going to walk all the way around and then jump off the bridge. So I ended up walking. I took one step on the bridge that led me over to like the other side. I didn't even get over the one bridge. And I just got pissed off. Something, I felt it wasn't me. It was something else. And it was like the healthy part of my ego started to kick in like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel like I want to do this. I feel like something is telling me that's not me to do this. And I got angrier than I ever have. It was like the rage, the murderous rage kind of came out like, wait a minute. It was like I was mad at the devil or I was mad at the demons or whatever it was that was like, and I got mad, but I also got completely scared. It was the weirdest fit of rage that I've ever had. I took one step on that fucking bridge and it hit me and I ran back to my apartment faster than I've ever ran in my entire life. Faster than ever. I ran back to my apartment, got back, slammed the door, got back, looked in the mirror. I had a mirror set up. I have mirrors everywhere. Like mirrors are just a fetish that I have. So I have mirror set up. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, completely sobered up. I was fucking drunk and I was high. Completely sobered up as I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I look up to the sky and I go, God, if this is it, take me now. If it's not, give me a sign. For 3 months, I had been ignoring my friend Nathan Francis calls, who was in my last network marketing company with me, because I was done. I didn't want anything to do with network marketing. I wanted nothing to do with it, but he kept calling me, and I knew he was doing something, but I didn't want to fucking hear him out. Calls me up the next day. I finally answer, because 1, I have no money. 2, I'm hungry as fuck. I'm sick and tired of peanut butter and water. 3, what the fuck? Why is he calling me? He's being persistent. And I respect him enough because he was one of the first successful businessmen outside of the guy that signed me up in network marketing to do network. I asked him, I was like, bro, you're a president of a multi-million-dollar construction company. Why do you do network marketing? He's like, he was one of the first people to put it in my mind, like, I do this to get my time back because I have 3 kids and they're all about to be in high school. And I haven't even got to spend time with them to watch them grow up. Network marketing is a way for me to have time and money. I have money over here. I have nice things. I have whatever, but I don't have a lifestyle. So I was like, oh.
Time is the one thing you can't fucking get back.
So I always respected him, and his son was a wrestler. So like they would do privates with me. They did a private with me sometimes because I told them I would do it because they looked up at me because I wrestled at the University of Minnesota. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll answer his call today. Fuck it, I'll answer. It's like, Joel, Been trying to call you, get a hold of you. I'm like, yeah, I know, brother. I've just been going through a lot. He's like, I know. I heard you have a head injury. We need to sit down ASAP. I said, what? It's like, yeah, I heard you have a you know what. And long story short, a you know what is inflammation of the brain. And long story short, the reason I've been trying to call you is because I have an all-natural anti-inflammatory that lowers the inflammation or in the inflammatory markers in a human by 47% naturally through one ingredient called betadine from food. No chemicals, no nothing. You need to take a look at what I'm doing ASAP. And if you like it and it works for you, then we can talk about however you want to move forward. But I really think you need to take a look at what I'm doing. Plus, I'll buy you lunch. How's it sound? How does 15 minutes of your time sound? Will you give me 15 minutes of your time? That call fucking changed my life.
Right.
2.5 weeks later, I was medically cleared to wrestle. And that started everything. You asked what started my spiritual awakening? God, if this is it, take me now. If it's not, give me a sign. The next day, I answer a call. A month later, I'm making more money than I've ever made before. I did not work for the next 4 to 6 years. I don't even remember. 5, 6. It got to a blur. Like it just got to a blur. But I didn't work. I didn't have a regular day job. I got to travel the world. I got to be a stay-at-home dad for a couple of years with my sons. I got to experience life how I never got to experience it.